Black people, this is why representation matters. Oh my goodness. So if you haven't heard, we recently had Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. You know, the same person who is allowing grandmothers and grandfathers to freeze to death? That's correct. That man, or half of a man. This individual has come out and talked about pardoning a convicted murderer, Daniel Perry. Okay? I want you to understand that. He's talking about pardoning someone who was convicted of murder. This individual, Daniel Perry, murdered a Black Lives Matter protester, a peaceful protester who was white. That's correct. Now, I can insert probably some corny joke about white on white crime. You know, the same jokes that the white ignorants love to put in every single time something happens in Chicago or this or that. You know, places that, first off, they never frequent, they haven't visited, and they don't care about. Especially about a group of people that they don't care about. But that doesn't stop them from constantly having our names in their mouth. Don't offer any solutions, just criticism, because that's what white ignorants on the right love to hear. Now, Daniel Perry is a psychopath. He's a racist psychopath at that, because there were documents that were just unsealed, and we got to see everything. But before we get into the racist nonsense and the dribble he put out there, let's cover the facts, okay, of the situation. Now, he was, I guess, Uber driving or whatever, because he seemed to, if you hear him speak, he seems to be very low IQ, very simple in thought. Nevertheless, he's driving and he claims that he made a wrong turn and somehow came into this protest. Bold-faced lie. We have video evidence of the car, his car, and the protest. The protest is filled. It's all, these people are all covering the street. There's no way on God's green earth you just accidentally made a wrong turn and got into a protest. You saw the people there. There's no way, unless you had your eyes closed, it is physically impossible not for you to see that there were people in front of your car. But that's what he says. He claimed he didn't see, he just went on a wrong street and there were people there. He was in front of the street. The next thing is that he claimed that a person pointed a gun at him and he feared for his life. That's why he fired. Another lie, okay? Because once we have video footage of this, I want you to understand, video footage. He's talking to a detective and he talks about, and the detective asks him, where was the gun? It was right here. But I feared that he was going to do this with it. You know, I didn't want to give him the chance to.
Former Austin Police homicide detective David Fugit was the one to conduct the interview with Perry. In it, Detective Fugit had Perry demonstrate how Foster carried his rifle.
How high did that barrel come up? Went up probably about right there. Okay, was it aimed at you? I believe it was aimed at, I believe he was going to aim it at me. I didn't want to give him a chance to aim at me, you know?
That completely refutes the narrative that these white, ignorant, anti-black racists are promoting on the right, of talking about a gun was pointed at him. No gun was pointed at him. And to further stress the point, there's actually a picture of the man who had the gun. Proper position, right? The gun wasn't pointed like this, it was down. That's what it was. Finger not even on the trigger. Proper trigger discipline, right? But that doesn't stop them from bold-faced lying to their low IQ, white ignorant base, trying to act like this person was in fear of his life. No, he wasn't. He wasn't in fear of his life at all. Because you want to know what happens? We have text messages that he had with his friend talking about the same situation. Talking about, hey, he wanted to kill protesters. Talking about that, how he could get away with killing protesters was to put himself in such a precarious position and then claim self-defense. Something that he then is now using today, well, not today, but presently in court. And luckily, the jury saw right through it. Now, when it comes to the text messages, we have him trying to talk about how BLM is anti-white. You know, just typical white ignorant freaking Fox News trailer trash nonsense, okay? That's their demographic. And it's really disgusting that every single time they use Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, just all of Fox News, all the right-wing media and the left use to divide people. The same thing they want to accuse the other, they are doing themselves. And it's to the detriment of this country. So he's regurgitating all the simplistic, stupid, vapid talking points that you hear on the media. Talking about the Confederate flag. Oh, if you guys have a problem with the Confederate flag, then you should have a problem with the BLM and the NAACP and all that, how that's racist. Imagine comparing the Confederate flag to the NAACP, bruh. I want you to understand how simple-minded these people are, which is why it's so easily to sway their opinions. It's so easy to sway their opinions. You can get someone that they like, and you can have Donald Trump tell them to wear their underwear on their head, and they would do it. Because they're simple-minded individual people. That's what they are. They're simple folk, okay? That's what they are. And unfortunately, they have the right to vote, thanks to the Electoral College. But nevertheless, I digress. Let's continue forward. You have him talking about, hey, too bad we can't go to Europe and shoot Muslims. Bruh, did I mention that Daniel Perry is Jewish? And he's talking about shooting Muslims. Then he talks about, I'm racist because I don't think people should be, he's referring to black people acting like monkeys. That's what he's talking about. Because you know, when George Floyd was murdered, you know how everyone was upset? How there was national protests against police brutality, which shockingly, there was more outrage and more action done for Dylan Mulvaney being on a beer can than there was for actual police reform and removing qualified immunity. Okay, just to put things in perspective. In addition to that, he's sharing memes with his friends talking about, what you do when your girl's first crush is a Negro boy and she has her daughter's head in the water or whatever, underwater. Okay, just a bunch of lowbrow, ignorant, trailer trash nonsense. Just a bunch of anti-black, just drivel. Okay, just absolute drivel and a bunch of hatred. His friend even says, "Hey, how do you control your bloodlust?" That's what this person is. This person's a vile, evil, hate-filled monster. Lineage of evil. Once again, this is why representation matters, black people. Because who do we have in office that could do something like this for us? Overturn a conviction or pardon somebody who was wrongfully convicted, which isn't the case here. It's not the case here. This person absolutely, I would say this is premeditated. Based off the litany of evidence that's coming out. This man is sick. This man's a monster. He has hate in his heart. He needs help, okay? And when I mean help, I mean help by him needing to go to Jesus, okay, for judgment and then going straight down to the pits of hell. That's what I mean by help. I think what Greg Abbott is doing is on behalf of the dominant society, the racist white ignorance within the Republican Party. That's what he's doing. He's acting on their behalf. We don't have anyone to act on our behalf. We are good at sports, all the football, basketball, track and field, all of that. That's great. There is one game that black people have yet to master. We have yet to master politics. That's the one aspect that you notice they will not promote on TV. They will not promote. They'll promote an Al Sharpton and all these other individuals, these puppets. But they will not promote, hey, why don't we have more black people in politics? Why don't we promote more black people in politics? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That you won't see it, okay? You won't see it. That's a game that we have got to get involved. We have got to master. The same way you can master a crossover. Who's the Allen Iverson of politics for black people? That's a problem right there. Who's the Michael Jordan of politics for black people? Who's the LeBron James of politics for black people? Who's the Tiger Woods of politics for black people? We don't have anyone. That's got to change, okay? Because if you going into this future, all right, it's not looking pretty. Because these white ignorants are teaming up with these white Hispanics who are teaming up with these white Asians. And guess what? We are all alone. And I don't know what to tell you. You being alone and being a super minority in the country is not going to be a good time, okay? You're going to be pizza in when you should have french fried. And that is not a good time. So I'm just saying, people, you need to wake up because they are being bold with it. They are being bold with it. Where they are just coming out and saying, hey, I'm white and I say so. Pardon this mofo. And they have people they can call and who are in positions of power that will do it. Despite whether it's right, wrong, there is no moral, they have no moral high ground. Morality is nothing to them. It's merely a tool that's malleable, that they can use to their benefit and serve their political interests. These people are evil. And until you start realizing this, we are going to get the short end of the stick every single time. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, you know what? He claimed self-defense, all right? All right, he was in fear of his life. That's why he shot the guy, okay? What the Democrats are doing, they trying to remove your right to self-defense. Or do you believe that is absolute, as Biden would say, malarkey, okay? They are creating a false narrative in order to justify the systemic racism that is currently about to happen, God forbid, of him being pardoned. Okay? It's the same thing that happened on January 6th when they didn't get their way. We see what happens when they don't get their way. They act like savages. They revert to their ancestral lineage of evil. Not all, but many. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree with this video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, okay? Which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we will duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. This man is sick. This man's a monster. He has hate in his heart.